So some people aren't as rich as Kyle and can't go and see a movie every day, I feel like.
Literally every day I'm at the movie theater. I go and see a lot of movies.
Yeah, he does.
I do.
And we all have Netflix accounts. But there's only a certain point where you watch Sherlock 10 times in a row before you realize there's something else.
That's right.
By the way, there's this great show that I heard of. Okay, get this. It's a little dark sounding, but a chemistry teacher becomes a meth producer. It's great.
It's crazy.
I know. You should watch it.
All right.
But what else should you watch on Netflix? There's a mine of stuff out there, and what we're going to try and do is bring you titles that are maybe a little bit less known of, but that we both think you should spend the time watching if you're into the same kind of stuff we're into. The film we're going to talk about today is Of Gods and Men. And this is a French film. It won the Cannes Festival. Did I say that right?
Yeah, well, the Cannes International Film Festival. They probably won the Palme d'Or. It's probably
That's what it was.
Highest.
Thank you. I don't speak French. And they won the highest honor there in 2010. The movie is about a group of Christian monks who live in a small Muslim village in Africa, northern Africa. And they're living their life there. They're doing their monk thing. They're interacting with the village. They're doing their prayers and living their life together as a community, really, in this larger community of the village. And
what Daniel's trying to say, it is an action-packed thrill ride.
No. Oh, don't go away yet. We'll still talk about it. Now, but at the same time, there's this group of Islamic extremists that are coming towards the village, and the Christians know that if they stay, they're going to get slaughtered there, and they're really having to wrestle with should they stay in the village or should they go, and that's kind of the point of the movie. What did you think of this movie, Carl?
Here's the thing: there is some great cinematography in this movie. It's one of those movies that even if you're not actively watching it, you can almost set it as your wallpaper.
I thought you were asleep when we watched it.
It's beautiful to look at.
Okay.
Because it is a very slow, methodically paced film, there is the tendency to say that it is boring, and I can understand that criticism because this movie is not going to be for everyone.
No.
It is one of those films, for me at least, that I'm appreciative that I watched it. I respect the filmmaking behind it, but there's nothing inside of me that wants to rush out and really revisit this film again, maybe in a few years' time if I wanted to. But yeah, I respected really the cinematography, the acting, the story is trying to tell, like these monks that are thrust up against their faith, where they have to decide whether or not am I going to uphold the teachings of the book that I say that I represent, or am I going to cut and run and leave these people behind? And I really enjoyed that dynamic a whole lot. For some reason, being the secular humanist that I am, or going to hell, I really enjoy that type of material. I really love talking about that type of stuff and seeing media about that. So I guess I liked a lot of the technical aspects of the film, and I could respect the other aspects of the film, but nothing that I'm going to rush out and watch again.
Whereas as a Christian, I heard one reviewer, you can actually look it up on the IMDb list, who has quoted for saying, I can't think of a more film that accurately describes Christians on there. And I thought that's true, in the sense that you have this group of people that are living in community, like you said, obeying a book, but you see that portrayed so well. I spent a group of time with a kind of an urban monastery in London that was much more loose in this kind of thing. It was very modern. But I remember going to that and then watch this movie about half a year later and really recognizing a lot of the things that they portray on there. You have a group of community here that's in a larger community that's different than they are, but they're interacting with it. And you really do see in the drama that's taking place, it's this internal drama in each of these brothers, as they call themselves, trying to decide what are they going to do, but also coming to the decision as a community in a larger community, and all of these different elements take place in it. And I think when you watch a movie like that, there's a lot of stuff you could take away with, at least for me, that spoke to my life, in that these are people that are making, I'm not in the monastery having to decide if I'm going to stay or get killed or if I'm going to go, but I am living in, I'm a Christian living in a church community, living in a larger community, making decisions, and I think this had a lot to say about how to do that on there.
I think there's one other movie that's better, I guess, showcasing Christianity. Pootie Tang. No. A 90s classic. No one denies that. What would you say, though, to people who maybe are not interested in that subject matter? Is there still something here for them to grasp onto, if it's nothing that they find, I guess, philosophically or emotionally resonant.
Well, it won the top award at the Cannes Festival,
Sure.
so that says something about its excellence, I guess, as a film on there. And I think you see a portrayal of a person, the main, the leader of the monastery, trying to make these decisions on there that all of us have to encounter on there. And as people in a community of different faiths that are trying to intersect, sometimes clash, sometimes not, this does a good job portraying how they can clash and how they can't clash and get along with each other while still having different beliefs on there. I think that was portrayed quite well. So if you like slower films, if you like films that you can kind of think along with, if you like films that are portrayed with beautiful, slow cinematography, if you like to smoke pot and want something to sit back on, although we don't advocate that here on the show.
I do not.
Yeah, but it still is it's a good film.
Yeah, I definitely recommend this for people who are into like the art house scene. For anyone else, you will probably be bored after like 5 or 10 minutes. Like you just will not like this
Like you're
movie
bored
anymore.
of this movie right now.
Maybe so.
Yeah, we do have posts to. I did a review a while back of it, so there's a post down there. But we do also have links to our other social media endeavors.
Yeah, they're going to be up on the screen right now for most of us.
That's right. And you can also follow Kyle's podcast. He does a podcast every week. Until next time, though, we're going to have another title that's worth your time on Netflix, maybe of a different genre. And so stay tuned.
Yeah. Join
Thanks
the conversation in the comments below.
Do that.